And in today's technology news for 2026, Elon Musk is building the world's largest phallic symbol. Am I the only one that's looked at the TeraFab and gone, it kind of looks like a phallic symbol? Huh, huh. Can you believe Elon Musk would spend $119 billion to create the world's largest phallic symbol? Yeah, I would believe that he would do that. So, anyways, Elon Musk, SpaceX, and Tesla are coming together in order to create TeraFab. So basically, TeraFab is going to be their facility for creating the silicon for all of the amazing technology projects that Tesla and SpaceX are going to do, right? Optimus robots needs chips, satellites in space needs chips, cars need chips, all kinds of things need chips. And so TeraFab is going to be the production facility to build all of that. One of the things that I do think is interesting, if this thing actually does get developed, is it's supposed to do, as I understand, like everything in-house. So not simply creating the wafers, but there's something called packaging, turning the wafers into the actual chips that can then be installed into products. So apparently all of that stuff is going to be done under one roof. So I do actually think, again, if it gets done, I think this will be a good thing for the United States, because this is one of the things where the United States is falling behind with China, where China has these kind of industrial districts where, again, everything required for a particular vertical is in a small geographic area. It allows them to develop and build relatively quickly. So if SpaceX and Tesla are able to build this TeraFab from an industrial standpoint, I think it could be very good. Whether or not it actually gets built, who knows? Who knows? Curious thing here is that it does look like they're actually putting money down to start building this thing. Coming from TechCrunch, Tesla and SpaceX will invest $16.8 billion to start building TeraFab chip factory in Texas. So the end cost for this entire thing is supposed to be about $119 billion. But it's not like you write a check for $119 billion and walk away. So it does look like they're putting this amount of money down to at least start building this particular project, which is, I don't know, it's probably a good sign. Probably a good sign for the project. Tesla and SpaceX said Tuesday that TeraFab, the advanced chip factory they are jointly developing, will be built in Grimes County, Texas, outside Houston, and that they will make an initial investment of $16.8 billion in the project. The factory will be, quote, the largest and most valuable building on Earth by far. Because of course it will be. Elon Musk, CEO of both companies, wrote in a post on Thursday, more than 100 million square feet of manufacturing space is planned for the facility, according to SpaceX. And so we did a video before talking about the size of TeraFab, and it's insane. Like the Pentagon has like 6.6 million square feet. So literally this is like 15 times the size of the Pentagon. Like, if you ever seen the Pentagon, 15 times the size of the Pentagon. They have all of these different examples of buildings, and this is just going to be apparently just absolutely insane. There's a building in China that's something like 19.8 million square feet. I guess that is the current largest building in the world. And so this is going to be 5 times the size of that particular building. Because why not? I guess. Why not? The company say the facility will employ at least 3,000 people from Grimes County and nearby Brazos County. Quote, the facility will be an advanced semiconductor fab that will bridge the divide between current global chip supply and the compute demand of the future, a post on SpaceX's website reads. I do wonder about this will employ 3,000 people. Because that seems small. Like, not that 3,000 people is small. Again, great. 3,000 people getting employed in Texas. No snark about that. But you do got to think about it. This is going to be the largest building in the world. The largest building in the world is going to employ 3,000 people. I do have to say that seems a bit weird to get through the head. And I think that's one of the concerns people have with a lot of these technology projects nowadays. Again, especially when we talk about things like data centers, where the data center gets built and it needs like 10 people to run it. So yes, this data center is $1 billion facility that needs 10 employees to run it. So there's not actually a lot of real economic development in the area. So I do wonder with that when it's saying 3,000 people. Is it 3,000 people for this initial $19.8 billion build out? So they're going to build out a certain amount for about $20 billion. That $20 billion equals 3,000 employees. So if you multiply that by 6, because it's $120 billion, would that mean there would be 18,000 employees by the time all of this gets built out, or somewhere around there? I do think that's going to be an interesting question with a lot of these technology projects going in the future. There's this idea of like, ooh, wow, right? This big new facility is coming to our area of the country, and then it comes in, and as I've said with the data centers, you get 10 full-time employees. It's not actually the boon for the area than you think it is. So I don't know. That's kind of a weird one right there. Let's see here. Quote, the facility will be an advanced semiconductor fab that will bridge the divide between current global chip supply and the compute demand of the future, a post on SpaceX's website reads. The animus behind TeraFab is that Musk's vision of the future, one where millions of robots take over human jobs, robo-taxis do all the driving, and satellites become data centers for AI training and inference, requires a phenomenal amount of computing power, far more than what current production rates support. SpaceX alone has suggested in filings that it may spend as much as $119 billion on the project across a multi-phase construction plan. Intel has said it will contribute to the TeraFab project, although it has been cagey about its exact contributions. Intel's like, we're here too. We're doing something too. So sure, Intel. We know. Quote, TeraFab will be epic in both its mission and its sheer size, designed to build new compute at an unprecedented scale and speed. A vertically integrated factory with more than 100 million square feet of manufacturing space is planned. This facility will house the manufacturing, packaging, and testing of the advanced logic and memory devices, SpaceX writes. Quote, bringing these aspects together in one location will enable fast, recursive improvements and accelerate new compute deployed. TeraFab will produce chips optimized for edge computing and inference for use in hardware like Tesla's Optimus robots and self-driving cybercabs, along with high-power chips designed for operating SpaceX's space-based data centers. And that's where, again, my concern with all this is it just feels like, I don't know, we're building a lot of fabs. I know, this is the point where you all start screaming at me like, 1 minute we're not building enough fabs, now you're complaining we're building too many fabs. I just feel like with this AI boom, like there's so much investment being put into production for this AI boom. And the idea isn't that we're going to spend X number of trillions of dollars over a couple of years and then the AI boom will plateau, right? Which happens with all technology buildouts. There's this idea that we're going to spend X number of trillion dollars, essentially infinitum. Again, you listen to these people, and it's like we need $1.5 trillion, $2 trillion, $5 trillion, whatever, year after year after year after year after year after year after year. And that's the kind of thing that I just question whether we need that much production capacity, and what happens if deployments just simply don't keep up with that much capacity coming online. Because as I've said, this whole AI thing, right? So much of this technology, so much of this AI is so inference focused. Inference is the most resource intensive way of essentially getting a computer to do anything, which I would argue is not a great way to design systems, right? As technology professionals, we should be designing systems in the most efficient possible way. So even if you initially deploy inefficient systems, the concept should be is you deploy these inefficient systems into a testing or a real world environment in order to get back the information required in order to make those systems more efficient, right? So that's where you see, like when you build out offices, so if you're ever building out offices for companies or whatever, that's what you'll see is as the company grows is the first office you build out for a company is going to be a shit show as far as the technology is concerned. And then you're going to find out all the things you did right and all the things you did wrong, the equipment you should have bought and the equipment you shouldn't have bought. But here's the thing, right? Like once all that's built, that's going to stay there. But then the next one you're going to do better, and the next one you're going to do better, and the next one you're going to do better, and the next one you're going to do better. And once you've built out 20 offices, you're going to have a standard way of building out these offices, and they're all going to be great and fine, right? One of the problems that I see right now is they're deploying artificial intelligence at such a fast speed. I think we are still in very much the massively inefficient phase of this tech stack. And so the question then becomes simply not even with the AI fraud and what happens if the bubble blows up, not even anything else, but just will we still need this level of resources once we figured out the most appropriate way to deploy these systems? That's a big question. Like you can have, and I've seen it with some of these things where we're just with where software efficiency gains, where you have the exact same hardware, but depending on how you process, again, AI, which is the inference, the most resource intensive way of doing anything, but even by modifying how the inference is done, you can get a dramatic increase in performance out of the hardware that you already have. And so you wonder, like 2 years down the pike, are we still going to need, chips and processors and all that kind of equipment the way we do now? I'll be curious to see how that goes. And again, when you got TeraFab is 100 million square foot building, going to be the largest building apparently in the world, producing a hell of a lot of chips. And we don't see Optimus. Like again, in the real world, I've seen Optimus once bolted to a frame the way I would bolt a TV to a frame. So it's not like I'm not seeing a massive demand for Optimus robots. Again, the Cybercab. Again, I've seen the Cybercab. I was in Las Vegas and I was like, wow, there is a Cybercab, like just sitting there in the expo hall. And then I went outside and watched these Zooks zip down the road. Again, I just want you to understand this. Cybercab was sitting there in a parking space so you could look at it. Zooks were actually zipping up and down the road. You were tripping over Zookses. And that's the other thing, like I say with this build, is it feels very aspirational. If people want all of these Optimuses, if people want the Cybercabs, again, I'm not seeing it yet. I go to big cities, I trip over Waymos. I've seen a shit ton of Waymos. Shit ton of Waymos. I have seen one Cybercab in a parking space. But anyways, what do you think about this? What do you think about them actually seeming to start on this massive TeraFab, $16.8 billion they're writing the check for? What do you think about this going into Texas? What do you think about this idea of like this building? I mean, they're saying 3,000 employees. Is that right? TechCrunch fuck up that number? Is it 30,000 employees? Is it 3,000 employees for this tranche? Multiply that tranche by 6 and you get to 18,000 employees? Like, what do you think about that kind of thing? I don't know. Put your thoughts down below. If you like these videos, do remember they're on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Link is down below. If you want to follow me on LinkedIn, there's a link down there too. With that, see y'all later.